sometimes experience can be your best teacher. And in that, I've learned that it doesn't always have to be your experience that teaches you something. A lot of times we can see someone else's experience, we can hear what they went through, and we can find a lesson in that. And with that, I wanted to touch on parenting and relationships and how they can correlate. I've seen so many situations in the parent-child dynamic where the parent wants something done and they want it done the way that they would do it. They want you to do it in the only way that their mind can fathom it getting done. And the problem is, even though that child is your child, they may be flesh of your flesh, they may not work the way that for you to put on them this task and the only right way is your way. That becomes problematic because they will put self aside. They will put aside all things that make sense to them and how their mind works and how it would work in their way and try their very best to do it your way. And because them making an attempt to do it how you would have done it, it'll never turn out just as it would be if you were to do it. And all you can see a lot of times is them not doing what you said, or them not doing it right, or them not doing it how you said it, so they don't care, they're not trying, or whatever the case. So many times people don't see both sides. They can't see past their own eyes. And a lot of the time the kids in that situation, they are busting their butt. They are trying everything they can to please parent, to please whoever it is that's giving them this instruction. And going against what you think and what you know, it's like your brain may say it goes from A to Z to C to B, and their brain may think it goes from B to F to G to H, and you're trying so hard to put aside how it makes sense in your mind, how it processes in your mind, and do it how they would do it. And that's so hard for a kid, and not just a kid. That's so hard for any person that's trying so hard to do something that someone's asking of them, and do it the way that they ask them to do it, because we don't all work the same way. There's more than one way to get something done, and a lot of times we don't understand it. And as parents, a lot of the times people, they think, I am here to lead you, I am here to teach you, I am here to give you instruction on how to get things done. And that is not the case. You're not growing a little you. They may look like you, they may sound like you, they may act like you in a lot of ways, they may have some of your mannerisms, but you're not growing a little you, a little clone of yourself. You have to understand that you are supposed to teach that person how to be the best them. You're supposed to teach them what needs to be done, not necessarily how it needs to be done. You can give them suggestions, you can show them one way to get it done. But if they have a different way to get it done and it's efficient and it works, don't knock them for getting it done in their way. Because I tell you something, if they try and try and try with everything they have to do it your way, and all they hear is you don't care, you're not trying, you can't do it right, just move, I'll do it. I hear that so many times from parents, just watch out, I got you. That's a major blow to a child or any person's pride and ego and all that they are. Sometimes you need to close your eyes and look through the eyes of your child. And again, I'm not just talking about a parent-child dynamic here. This could be a husband-wife situation, a wife-husband situation, a teacher-student situation. A lot of times we want things done how we want things done, and if it's not getting done that way, then in our minds they don't care, they're not listening, they're not applying themselves. Oh my gosh, I hear that so much. You're just not applying yourselves. When you only see your side of the fence, you can't see on the other side. You can't see them bleeding and sweating and the tears and the thoughts that they go through in their mind. Oh my gosh, am I gonna mess up today? Am I doing it right? Are they gonna be upset with me? All these things may go through their mind because they're trying to please you how you would please. They're trying to please you how you would please you, and they're not you. So look at the person that you're talking to for the person that you're talking to, and realize and understand that things will not happen exactly how you want them to happen because you're not doing it. You ever heard if you want something done right, do it yourself? It's not saying that the person that's doing it is doing it wrong. It's just your right, maybe they're left. Like, you have to take into consideration the people. It hurts a person so much when all they want is to do the right thing, to make person A happy, to please that person, and in their mind they may be doing just that, and then to hear, things like, you're not doing it right, or you don't care, you're not listening to me, whatever the case, to hear that, and think that you were doing it right because you might have been doing it how you did it. And I've honestly seen people try for so long to do the things exactly how that person would have them do it, and then they, by instinct, by default, they fall back into their way of doing things, because no matter how much somebody tries to be you, eventually the them will kick back up and be dominant again. So you may think like, okay, you did this for a little while and then you just stopped doing it, like you don't care. It's not that, guys. Understand that you are you and they are them. No matter how much you have in common, no matter how much you think alike, no matter how much you have the same goal, you can have the same goal and get there two different ways. You can have the same, plan. You may be headed to the same destination, but there are multiple roads to lead to one destination a lot of times. People have to understand that. It's hard for people. It's impossible for someone to please you by being you, because they're not you. And don't expect them to be, because if you have that expectation for them to do just as you would do, then whatever you're working towards will fail. It will always fail. Figure out who they are, figure out how they work, and find the middle ground. Compromise, 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 because that would avoid a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of misunderstandings.